My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. I'm going to give you my bets for UFC London. But before I do, let's talk about last week. I made some money. Jacob made some money. His lock of the week was a massive bust. There was an arm break involved, but that's his problem, not mine. And the safety parlay, the member-only safety parlay, is back on track. That hit as well. So overall, a decent week on what was too straightforward of a card. You want to call it a sketchy card, but all the favorites except one won their fights, which is good if all you did was bet chalk. It's a problem if you were hunting underdogs. We had some solid bets, ended up making a few dollars last week, but we weren't the only ones. The rest of our premium member community did well also. $13,000 in tickets from premium members only were sent to us, shared with us, put in the Discord, tweeted to us, DM'd to us saying, I'm a premium member. Thanks for the insight. Look what I did. $13,000. This is from UFC Vegas 77 alone. This is just from last weekend. And it's not an accident. Our premium members are the sharpest people in this space. We give them all the tools we could ever give anybody. They bring their own insight. They do some of their own research. Some of them tail. Some of them don't. But all of them have access to all of our tools, like the line movement tracker. Line movement tracker is going to give you opening odds, current odds, win probability, and the line movement for every single fight on every single card. So if you want access to this, to everything else, if you want to join the rest of these premium members and hopefully continue this winning trend, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It is only $10 a month. That's $2.50 an event. It's an absolute joke how affordable it is. That's why we have well over 2,000 premium members, because we are determined to build the best value in this space. $10 a month, WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. Let's talk about this card. UFC London's an interesting card. This could be another full chalk card. There's a lot of good-sized favorites that should pretty much get it done, but there's also some decent underdogs that I think can have and squeak out a win as well. So, most confident favorites, Tom Aspinall. I think he's just light years ahead of Marcin Tybura everywhere. Literally everywhere. Obviously, he's coming off that knee injury. We have to assume he's fully recovered. He seems to be, and he should be able to piece up Marcin Tybura and basically do whatever he wants to do. Mahmoud Muradov. I think he's just better than Bryan Barberena. I think he's going to be the better striker. I think he'll have the better wrestling. The only thing that makes it a little tricky is Bryan Barberena is tough as nails. He's not a guy you just get out of there. Obviously, his last two fights ended very quickly, but those are from dominant grapplers. Mahmoud Muradov is not a dominant grappler. He's a striker, and Bryan Barberena is not the kind of guy that's just going to wilt under some striking pressure. Then we got Nathaniel Wood. If you remember, he pulled out of the last UFC London because he had a knee injury, but it wasn't a knee injury like Tom Aspinall's. He just had a bad cut, and because of the cut, he had stitches, and because of the stitches, he couldn't fight. So Nathaniel Wood should be 100%. He had no recovery other than, a wound that needed to heal. And this is another sort of, the pick is really against the opponent. I like Andre Fili. I think Andre Fili is one of the more talented guys in the division. And on any given night, Andre Fili looks like he could be a world champion. I just don't think that's going to be at UFC London. I think Nathaniel Wood's going to be a little faster, a little sharper, a little cleaner, and should be able to get it done. And then Molly McCann. Listen, Molly McCann should dominate this fight. I think Molly McCann wins this fight 9 out of 10 times. The problem is that 10th time, she starts grappling for no reason and then gets submitted. That 10th time, she can't stop a Julia Stolarienko takedown. That is a genuine risk here. I'm going to show you my bets in a second. Earlier in the week, I advised don't bet on her for those reasons, but I've sort of gone full circle. I have bet on her. I'll show you. I'll walk you through it. But Molly McCann is probably the only favorite that I'm very confident in and also very scared about. We have some solid underdogs as well. I think two of these I absolutely picked to win. One of them I think can win, and I bet against them, but I fully recognize the danger there. We got Jai Herbert at plus 138. I think Jai Herbert wins this fight. We have two sort of distance, rangy strikers, but I think Jai Herbert's going to be a little faster and have a little more power. I think he can absolutely win this fight. Then we got Pani Khanzad. I definitely think she wins this fight. The reality is that Ketlin Vieira is big. She's strong. She wants to hold you against the cage, drag you to the ground, but she's not fast. She's not super athletic. She's big and strong and relies on her size. And Pani Khanzad can dance around. She's going to be much faster. And if her footwork stays clean, I think Pani can go ahead and win herself probably a 29-28, a pretty close decision, because I think she'll touch and go, touch and go, touch and go. She'll get held against the cage a little bit, but break out, touch and go, and move around. I think Pani can definitely get this done. And then Josh Kulibau. I bet against Josh Kulibau. I like, the money was just so close. I think Lerone Murphy wins this fight. But the reality is Josh Kulibau is good, and he's a dog. He's a solid striker. He's coming off that submission win, but it was really he dropped the dude, then jumped on him like a cat, and then got the submission. But overall, these are my most confident favorites. These are some solid underdogs that you can work with. Here's my actual bets. I have 4 money lines. A lot of these money lines have more to do with the opponent than it does with them, except Lerone Murphy. I think Lerone Murphy is very, very good. Lerone Murphy has some very real power, some very technical striking. I think Lerone Murphy wins this fight. I only threw a half a unit on that. Daniel Marcos should win this fight as well. The guy's undefeated. The guy's good everywhere. He's got all the tools, and he's fighting Davy Grant. No offense to Davy Grant. I don't think he's that good. I just don't think he's that good. He was a grappler who turned into a striker. Randomly, he has power. He's not bad. I'm not trying to trash Davy Grant, but we have a 14-0 undefeated prospect that is mowing through people, and then Davy Grant. And that's the end of that sentence. So Daniel Marcos, half a unit, -120. Joel Alvarez. This is another betting against the opponent type situation. Mark DeCasey just lost to a 48-year-old Michael Johnson. Got 0 takedowns. Striking, couldn't get his striking going, and Mark DeCasey is supposed to be this great striker. Over the last year, he turned into, or 2 years potentially, he turned into a grappler. My only concern with Joel Alvarez here is he's never defended a takedown, ever. Ever, because he's so good on the ground. He's like, yeah, go ahead, take me down, and then you'll be in trouble. My concern is that Mark DeCasey can get the takedowns, because there's going to be 0 defense. He'll get the takedowns and then just elbows in, ride out the most boring decision of all time and not get submitted. That is a genuine concern. So I wouldn't tail the Joel Alvarez bet, but Joel Alvarez should be better than Mark DeCasey everywhere except wrestling. And then Chris Duncan, -125. The reality is, if you remember, I bet on Yanal Ashmouz in his last fight. He was the biggest winning dog on that card, and we were very confident. Similar to what I'm doing here, I bet against his opponent. His opponent was Sam Patterson. Sam Patterson was a chinny dork. And I was like, Ashwell's going to get to his chin. And he did. This is a little different. Ashwell's fighting Chris Duncan. This guy is a never say die. He's been dropped, but he pops right back up. He keeps coming. He's got power. He's got pressure. He's going to stay in your face. And I think Chris Duncan could absolutely get this done at -125. Yanal Ashmouz is very good. I recognize that. I've bet on him in the past. I just think Chris Duncan's going to have too much pressure, and he's going to stay in his face and get this done. The couple of prop bets. I have Ketlin Vieira wins inside the distance, decision, no action. I fully expect that to get refunded, but that's just to sort of cover if Ketlin can lay on and beat up Pani Khanzad. I put a full unit on that at -260. All this bet is saying is if Ketlin Vieira wins this fight by knockout or submission, then I get paid. I hit my bet. But if it goes to a decision, which is the most likely outcome, I get a full refund. It's like the bet never happened. Then we have Bruna Brazil and Mama B. Bannon under 2.5 rounds. That is a +215. Here's the reality of it. Bruna Brazil has some real power. Shauna Bannon, we haven't really seen much from her other than 5 fights on the regional scene. She's supposed to be a world champion kickboxer. One of these women is going to break, at least in my opinion. 1/4 of a unit at +215. And then here's the parlay I mentioned with Molly McCann. We do our call-in show on Thursdays. So Thursdays, if you're a premium member, you can just call in, ask questions, call me fat, whatever you want to do. You can call into the show and hang out. You're a premium member. Somebody posted their parlay. They had Molly McCann, Nathaniel Wood, and Tom Aspinall as a 3-leg parlay, and it was solid plus money. I just removed Tom from it and said, you know what? Just Molly McCann and Nathaniel Wood, +121. I threw a half a unit on that. That should hit. That should hit. Obviously, the risk is Molly McCann has low fight IQ and does something stupid. The risk is Andre Fili shows up looking like a world champion. But that shouldn't happen. They're both at home. They're both should get the wins. Obviously, they're favorites on the books, but they're favorites. The community agrees that they're favorites as well, that they should win. So +121 on that 2-leg parlay. I actually do like that. but I will be biting my teeth during the Molly McCann fight. And then Jacob's got 10 plus units. I'm filming this before all the props have dropped. We don't have the takedown props. We don't have the striking props. Once those, Jacob loves the whole wins the first round prop bet. All that says is if the fighter wins the first round on the scorecards or by finish. They could lose the fight, but if they won that first round, you get paid. Jacob loves those bets, and those bets tend to do well for him because sometimes it's harder to identify the winner of a fight than it is to identify who's going to come out hot, come out aggressive, and take that first round. So keep an eye on Jacob. If you're a premium member, make sure you've linked your Discord so that when he starts to hammer these props as they drop today, then you can tail if you like them or avoid them if you don't. Don't ever tail a bet you don't like. If you know nothing and you just see a bet, don't just tail it. Right? This is what we're doing with our money. This is my money, what I've done. Jacob's money, what he's done. It's supposed to be a guide more than a copy-paste sort of environment. But anyway, Jacob's got 10 plus total units. He's got a unit on Johnny Parsons. He likes the DeCasey Alvarez does not go the distance. He's got a unit on that. And then Paul Craig by submission, a third of a unit on that at plus 375. 9 more units before all the props have dropped. Guys, let me send you $50. Anybody. You don't have to be a premium member. You don't have to be a subscriber. You can hate my guts, but just want $50. The only thing you need to do is go to wewantpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our betting partners using our link, and I send you $50 as a thank you. It's affiliate marketing. You're going to use the link. They're going to pay me, and I'm going to break that money, and I'm going to give it to you, some of it, to you. Because, hell, man, why not? The only reason we're making money is because of you guys, so let's give some back. wewantpicks.com/bets. Use the link, sign up, make a deposit. I will send you $50. You then use that $50 to become a premium member. Premium member gets you more than just Jacob and I. You're going to get Artem giving you his picks and bets for UFC and the other shows. You're going to get LFA. You're going to get Cage Warriors. You're going to get PFL. All of the other shows, Artem's going to break down for you, give you his bets and thoughts there. You're also going to get the Pick Doctor. It is beta, but it is an AI. We're building an AI to pick fights. It has been doing incredibly well picking underdogs, but we continue to hone it in. We continue to add variables, add data so that it has more to learn from. And while this evolves, you can go ahead and follow that journey at wewantpicks.com. Just click Become a Member.